Okay, so we're gonna answer another question. So another question is, how was the port day like?
How was the port day like? Well, depends on the port.
Okay,
But like if you're IPM, when we mentioned that earlier, it means that you have to stay on the ship and perform some duties on the ship. Then your day in port is very boring if you are IPM.
But if you're not,
IPM, then you get to go out. And again,
like what time?
Well,
Earlier is
I
9.
think it's early, but you want to get the breakfast before you go. So you aim for the breakfast, and then around 10,
Maybe.
10 maybe you can
And
get off.
we check the weather on TV.
But it depends on if you are docked directly in the port of the city, like Osaka Ko or Yokohama Ko, or if you are tender. And tender means that you cannot dock in the port.
Because maybe sometimes the ocean is too shallow.
Shallow,
You
yeah.
cannot go in, or the ship is too big for the port.
So they have small boats on the big boat. They use those boats to disembark the crew.
That's the worst time. I mean, worst day.
That's the worst day because you have to wait for the entire number of passengers to get off the ship entirely, and then you can maybe go. So that's like Cabo San Lucas in Mexico.
And Guernsey as well, I remember.
And Guernsey as well, Guernsey Island, Channel Island.
But I was on the same board as passengers, small boat.
Yeah, but that's because
maybe that was at the end.
That was at the end. Maybe there weren't enough passengers, and then they mix crew and passengers, which is kind of a rare. So depending on where you are, and depending on is it tender or is it like directly, if you dock directly to the port. Like if you are in San Francisco, you're already at the docks, and the dock like 39 is a very famous sightseeing place, and from that point on, because it's downtown, you can go. It's not far. The downtown is not far, especially like San Francisco and Vancouver. Vancouver Port is also near the center. So yeah.
Yeah, one time we went to Civitavecchia.
Civitavecchia, yeah, in Italy. Civitavecchia.
And then we took a train to go to Rome.
You went to Rome, and I went to Florence. You went to Florence.
But we went to somewhere together.
To Firenze, to Florence.
Oh yeah. So we docked at the
Civitavecchia is like a big port, and then from that point in Italy you can go to Pisa, you can go to Firenze, Florence, and you can go to Rome.
Yeah, I never been to Rome. So Firenze, we went to Firenze by train.
Yeah, we took a train, 1 hour train.
That was exciting.
That was very exciting because you were going somewhere by train, and then you have to come back on the ship. You cannot miss the ship, so it was a little bit. Again, you cannot really fully relax. But it was interesting.
It was very nice.
It was very.
And sometimes you can go on the excursion with the passengers. Once I went to excursion with passengers. And then I was also worried that I don't know Firenze, so I was right behind the guide because I didn't want to get lost. But some passengers got lost, and then they blamed me. I don't know why, but they blamed it, and I was like, well, I don't want to get lost as well either because I don't know this place. Yeah. And she was too slow to walk.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah, if you are a part of this field trip excursion. Then you have to blend in. But still,
people know you are a staff, so they expect you to do some work.
For them, even though it's your off time and you're not
free.
Yeah, it's free. For them, it's not free. For passengers, it's not free. They actually
100,
pay
200?
100 or 200 depending on the port where they go. so that's pretty much about that about the port day.
Oh yeah, and then one more question related to this. So what was that? What about things like passport? So we don't carry our passports everywhere. The ship takes our passports, and then they do the legal stuff like send documents to the country on behalf of us, but only in St. Petersburg. We needed to get our passport, and then have
Russia.
the passport in our hand, and then go to what was it, immigration?
You mean, there's an office like an import immigration office, and you get approved or not.
You get stamped.
You get stamped. You can get in or you cannot get in. You get declined. But
sometimes you could get declined.
Yeah, but sometimes like it depends on the country and it depends on your passport, because Japanese passport is widely received in every country. It's like it depends on where you're from. So in America, we are given I-95. It's like a small certificate of that you can enter the American soil, the American country, United States, but you cannot stay. It's just like, it's called I-95. But
is that a visa? Are you talking about
it's like a it's not a it is a 1-day visa or 2-day visa.
Okay, I didn't know.
So it's a very like a short-term visa for you as a crew member. But also in European countries, or most of the countries, like you don't really need a passport. But if you are from, I don't know, some African countries, or if you are from some Indian countries, then it depends. Indian countries, India. I mean, it depends on the diplomatic relations between that country and the country you're coming from. So, most of the times you don't need like a passport, but in America you do need I-95 if you're going to San Francisco or Florida or New York, or you would need that.
And then I heard, I didn't go to New York, but when ship docks in New York, most of Filipinos cannot get off because they likely stay in New York without a visa or passport.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. People from the depraved countries or poor countries, they use the ship as an opportunity to stay somewhere, to get to that place and to stay somewhere. That's against the law, but
they don't just come back.
They just stay there and they don't come back, and then
without a passport, that's a huge deal.
But maybe they have someone over there, or maybe somebody.
Must be. They should.
Yeah, so they use the ship as a tool to get somewhere and to stay in that place.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of Filipinos cannot get off in New York, because a lot of people do that.
Not just Filipinos. I mean, it can happen with many nations. Okay, not the
from
rich.
Poor countries.
Poor countries, and it happens. They can do that.
Yeah, that's one of the shit things as well. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.